And that's something I say that comes out. I'm 17 years old. I'm in London, and it was kind of a rebellious stage. The whole London segment in the film is kind of very intense, and it's like I'm rebelling against my father. And I was traveling to London for not a job interview, but for an audition with a management company, and I just had a terrible time in London. And I had just started dating my boyfriend in New York, and it was my first year in college, and I don't know, like I was kind of fed up of everything that was going on, and of the traveling, the practicing, the like career stuff. And I just said, like, I like my routine, I like practicing, but I don't always like performing. I don't like to travel and to sign autographs. Like, I was in a place where I just kind of wanted to be on my own and not focus on my career. And I said, it's not like I'm a rock star. So I think that hooked, the director. She felt like, maybe there was a change in what was happening up until then and what was to come, so that's what it's called.
So this documentary, it begins when you're only 12 years of age.
Exactly, yes.
Now, I'm thinking for any 12-year-old, that's got to be a little intimidating to have cameras and people following you around.
I have to say it wasn't so bad. First of all, I had done a lot of stuff already with, cameras, like interviews and stuff, and, it didn't seem so foreign to have a camera, follow me. Okay. But, of course, at the beginning it was, when she said, oh, I want to, possibly make a documentary film about you, that's kind of weird. But I have to say that Bobby Jo, she's a very, very sweet person, not invasive at all. Of course, at first she had to direct me a little bit more to get stuff that she wanted to get on camera. But very quickly, we became very close friends. And it was very natural for me to speak to, not the camera, but to Bobby Jo, who was my friend as well. And I have to say, when it started too, I thought it was kind of cruel to have cameras follow me.
Oh, yeah, I guess, yeah,
so,
sure.
They came to my school, and, like, I looked really cool in front of all my girlfriends. And so I enjoyed it. But it was, she kind of, I forgot there was a camera in the end.
How old were you when you first started playing the piano?
I was 5 years old.
Wow.
Yeah, so it's been 16 years old.
And is there
16 years.
music in your family?
Yes, of course. My dad is a violinist.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't, do that professionally, but he studied in Juilliard and in Europe, and
wow.
Great musician. He's a musician. He doesn't play often anymore, but sometimes he does. My mom was a dancer, so still very musical,
a very creative family.
Yeah, for sure. My grandfather played the accordion, so I think part of, music is, tradition, and passing it on.
Sure.
And, I grew up, there was always music in my home, in my life.
So when did those around you realize how good you were? Was it like within the first year after you started playing?
I don't know. That's so hard for me to say because, I was actually, in the film, there's all... Bobby Jo started filming me at 12, but there's also, like, family footage. So there's one of the first scenes you see me play a little piece when I'm, like, 5 or 6 years old, and I listen to myself and I say, oh, my God, like, I suck. Like, some of my students are better than that. So I can't believe sometimes that people encourage me to continue. But my teacher was always very... positive and very good at, making me go fast, learn pieces quickly, and pushing me in the right direction. And I think, she saw the interest, she saw a possible passion, and I really enjoyed it. It's hard to say when they discovered, but very quickly, when I was 9 years old, I played with the Montreal Symphony Orchestra and Mozart Concerto, so stuff like that, it's like...
When you're 9?
Yeah, when I was 9, so I think that was a big moment for me. I remember, that's one of the first performances that I remember,
yeah.
And I remember saying, like, this is what I want to do with my life, like, this is awesome. So, and when there's the interest, there's a talent, and there's the... the wanting to work, I think that's the combination that, people take you seriously and want you to keep doing what you're doing.
And when did you move to New York City?
I was 14 years old for 2 years. So when I was 12, I was accepted at the Juilliard Pre-College, and I was traveling every Saturday back and forth. I was flying to New York, taking, a whole day of classes at Juilliard and coming back to Montreal at night. And after 2 years, my teacher told me, I think if you want to really focus on music, you got to come here to New York. And because it was a hard time, teenage years. And
so who did you move to New York with?
I moved alone.
14 and you're living alone in New York?
Yeah, not quite living alone. We found a family.
Good.
Yeah, first in Forest Hills I was renting a little room, but then I moved out quickly from that, and I was living alone for a while in Manhattan. And then ultimately, because that didn't work out either, I found our wonderful Greek elderly lady, Elsa, originally Greek, like it's far, but so friends of friends of friends, like that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And she had a little room on the Upper West Side, so it was really close to school. And I moved there, and she was like a grandmother cooking and talking to me and taking care of me. So
And now you got your own place.
yes, now I stayed in residences 2 years after that because I had to, and now I have a little apartment. I live with my boyfriend, and
Do you have like a grand piano in your
no,
apartment?
because I live in a studio and it's New York City, so it's like a closet.
Yeah, everything
But
is.
but I practice at school, so it's all right. And I live like 20 blocks away, so I walk and.
You weren't affected by, you were telling me you weren't affected by the Superstorm Sandy.
No, I was super lucky. I'm like in the perfect spot. It's like the middle of the island, so nothing happened. But right next to my place, there's like a little park, and all the trees got completely wrecked, and that was terrible, to see the devastation
Oh, it's
around.
just it's horrific, the whole thing.
No, we got it really, really, really badly, and I have a lot of friends that live in worse areas, like close to the water, or the north or south of Manhattan. They got hit pretty bad too. So I'm very lucky.
No, do you do a lot of traveling still?
I do a lot of travel. Actually, today I'm going to Greece, so...
Are you on today?
Yes, I'm going for the first time. Yeah, I'm going to play a recital in Athens, so...
You've never been?
I've never been,
And yet that's where your family
Yeah, originally, yeah. So, no, I'm very excited. A great event we're doing it's a Glenn Gould Week that I'm going for, and very excited. And I was just in Mexico City, so it's kind of this... past few months I've been crazy for the documentary, but it's fantastic.
Are you playing Bach there or what?
Yes, I am playing some Bach. I'm playing Italian concerto. Yes, very excited.
How did you know that?
Glenn Gould.
Glenn Gould.
Glenn Gould, Bach, yes.
He is the guy for Bach.
Yeah.
He was the man.
Yeah.
He was the Bach guy.
Yeah.
Dedicated.
Yeah, amazing. I love Gould, and I love his Bach.
Yeah, it's amazing. Yeah, it's fantastic.
Now we've got you on a rolling keyboard today,
Yeah.
which you.
The
God,
FP7F, in fact.
I was just blown away watching you just running your hands up and down the keyboard there. But you're cool with that, right?
Yeah, for sure. No, I was just saying, I saw another keyboard in the next room, and I was like, is that what I'm playing on? It's fine, like, I've done so many things, like, outdoors, and of course you can't bring a piano, so, some people, they have smaller keyboards, so I try to rearrange stuff. Where I was in Syracuse for a film festival, and they kind of messed up. They brought me a celeste out, and I was like, that's not a piano.
You know what that is, Ted? Little box about that big.
Oh, yeah.
It sounds great for Christmas music.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Back in just a moment, Marika Bournaki will perform for us. She, not of the virtuoso type, but pretty damn fine piano. It is 11:45.
From Sonettine, the third movement.
The third movement.
The third movement.
Excellent.
To impress you all
Okay.
with rapidity and virtuosity.
It's my favorite movement, by the way. Marika Bournaki right now. Hey, you're not bad.